So inventory's going through the roof, nothing's selling, and everything is coming up crazy, crazy.
Yeah, we have 741 listings in Barrie today. That's freehold and condos. That's up 21% from February. We're not even done March yet. We've seen extensive listings coming up in the last 3 or 4 days, like 80, 90, depending on what your search parameters are. But there's a lot of product coming on the market, it's coming fast, and we're not seeing the sell through coming. So in the video, we're going to break down some ranges, all our ranges compared to where we are today, where we were last month, and see how
Well,
much they've gone up.
yeah. And another thing I want people to realize, like that, the one I just showed you on Mapleton at 599, they're withholding offers. There's all kinds coming up really low, but they're withholding offers and they're not going to take 599.
No, no. They're just trying to get some excitement, drive people to the property. But
Yeah, because the inventory because nothing's selling and you need something to get attention and that's what they're doing. So, if something looks too good to be true, Mark, it
usually
usually is.
it is. So if anyone wants
This
a
is
home
the one on
evaluation,
Mapleton.
click the links in our top of description and it want a custom list of homes emailed to you based on your criteria. We'd be happy to do that for you.
Okay, we're gonna open
Start
the
off at
spreadsheet too, okay, Mark?
Okay. I want to go through the ranges for the viewers too, because I think if anyone, we're coming into a spring market. So these numbers are very important for people thinking of listing in the next few weeks or month. And we're going to use last month as an inventory as a guide. And what I'm seeing is this, people aren't paying enough attention to the numbers.
So 5 to 600, we have 15 right now. We had 11 last time.
Yeah, and that's a low range. So I'm not even really
No,
it's low range, right?
yeah.
It's just not even worth it.
600 to 700.
Yeah, and in that category from 6 to 7, you're going to see some detached properties, small detached properties, links, towns, etc.
So we had 74 last time. We have 83 now.
83. Okay. And some have sold. Like, I mean, the inventories,
Yeah.
so it's still being reproduced all the time and taking out the sales. So it's still growing.
7 to 800. Right this second, we have 115. We had 112.
Yeah. And if we back up the sales, so what that's telling me is that for every property that's sold in that range, it's getting more and more. Stuff's coming back on the market just as fast as it's going.
Well,
It's
it's coming
not a
back
lot of sales.
faster. It's coming
Yeah.
on faster than it's selling, right? 8 to 9, we have 96 now. We had 89 before.
Yeah. And folks, those are big numbers. So let's just pause it there. Just okay, next one we'll do that. It's fine.
Yeah. Hold on. 9 to 1 million. 84,
Mhm.
we had 73.
Yeah. Here's my favorite one, 1 million and over.
Yeah. 132
24. Yeah.
at 124.
Yeah, it's a lot. Inventory is going to continue to go up. We're not seeing the sales, right? And the March
No.
stats out, shortly after this month is completed. But we've noticed the inventory is really picking up. And let's go back to that number, just this numbers again. Well,
Well, you know what I want to see, Mark?
okay, go
What
ahead.
are our sales so far?
If you're going to do that, so then you might as well let's do it for the whole ranges, and then we'll put them on the sideline
Well, I know what I want to do is over here. See how last year we had 230?
for March.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not done
So I
marking
just
it
want to
up.
see how far behind we are.
We might as well do the sales for those ranges because now I'm curious.
Hold on.
What's the date today? 21st, 20th.
3 sales over 1 million.
Okay. Let's write that. I'm gonna write that down
Can you write it down?
and put it. Okay.
4, 900 to a million. 14, 8 to 900. 37 to 800. 21, 6 to 7.
Okay.
And let me try to see for the, hold on. So freehold for this month, so far we have 76 freehold. Could you write that down? Because I got to write down the condos too.
Good.
76.
Shit. It was going up and down. This is condos?
Condos. 22.
Hang on, I'll do my calculations because math sucks.
98.
And how many? We've got 10 days left.
10 days left. And last year we had 230 for the month. That's a big gap in 10 days
Yeah,
to
to
make up.
come. Yeah, and we're not seeing, considering we're seeing what, 8 or 9 sometimes,
Yeah.
right? So even if it goes up another hundreds, they're going to be down. Transactions are going to be down,
Oh, by a lot, but I think.
right? So we're
So 5 to 6. How many sold? Or 6 to 7, how
we
many sold?
6 to 7, 37
So they're actually up
up in that range. Yeah,
7 to 8,
37.
and they're only 26 last month. So they're up too.
One day, yeah. So those ranges are up. Yeah,
8 to 9,
14.
28, down 50%.
Good.
9 to a million,
4
8,
over a million. 3.
16. So
Oh,
the higher ranges are, or the low ranges are actually up and the high ranges are way down.
way down. And those high ranges have the most inventory levels.
That's right.
So again, when we go over these ranges, when we look, how many listings, Dan, right now in that over a million range? What did we active listings? I don't think we wrote it down. Shit.
I got it here. Hold on.
Okay.
136 or something, wasn't it?
Well, it's more than that.
Oh, I'm in the stupid condos again. Hold on.
Can't believe you can't hear that music in the background.
Can't hear it, man.
It's good.
132.
Okay.
And we were at 124.
Dan, that's 2% of the inventory for the month. We're going to break this down since we're talking inventory. 2.27% from a million over based on today's inventory number has sold.
I know it's like
It's a lot. Let's do
alarming. It's like,
arm. Out of 142 of them, 3 listings. So, folks, I can't reiterate the fact, price it right the first time.
well, and
And
even
it's going
so
to take some time in that range. It's ultra competitive.
and
Don't,
I was telling you, Mark, how so I have it set up for like Simcoe County, Bradford, Midland, Penetang, Aurelia, Barrie, right?
yeah,
And the hot sheet for 3 days, I have 387 listings
we're only in March.
in 3 days, Mark. And the price decrease is 74.
Yeah, yeah.
And solds, I only have 81.
And that's
So
it.
like 387 coming in and only 81 sold.
Okay, so keep it there. Don't change that.
Like that's horrifying.
So that's 22%. So in the last based on your 3 days there, 387 listings, correct?
Yeah.
Simple County based on your search criteria that you put into
Yeah,
your
I'm just Simcoe County in there. Yeah.
okay, and 81 have sold. That's 22% of the inventory is turning over. And that's what we're kind of seeing consistently anyway, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I should try 7 days.
What's the other 78%, right? This is a
Okay, Mark. So in 7 days, we have 597 new listings,
okay,
120 sold. Is it the same percentage?
20%. Okay. Can you go even higher?
No.
No. Fine. That gives of you some good information. Folks,
Yeah.
look at the numbers. Okay. There's still so much overpricing. And that buyer's, let's be honest, that buyer is going to hold back a bit. We're starting to see it, right?
Well, we are, and I think we're getting to see people getting nervous that am I overpaying?
Well, I don't
The
think I
prices
don't
are
think
going to go
people
down.
I don't think that could be in some there that could be in some uncertainty in people's heads. Yeah. Should I just wait and see if they come down? But based on this inventory now, there's so much of it's overpriced. And
Well, that's what I was going to
jumping at
say to you.
overpricing.
Like, even if I go to the new listings, this is just today. There's 70 whatever, right? If I sort it by price, we see how many are leases, first of all. Then we have some little wee condos. And Weiss Road sticks out at me. Holly, 533 300, detached house. You know what this is, right?
They're holding off on ours. They didn't even look.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Right.
Till April 2nd.
Yeah.
So, like, you see these things come up, you know already what it is,
Oh, for sure. For sure.
right? Then we go over, like, in the six and 700s, or in the 600s, there's only three or four.
That's right.
Then in the 700s, same thing. Two, four, two, four, six, seven. And then we get into the eights, nines, and the millions.
Yeah.
Crazy.
A lot of
Like
products.
there's more over a million than of anything else.
Wow, 132 of them. So yes, and 2% selling. Not a good ratio.
No,
Sales to listing.
no,
Not a good ratio. Uh,
no.
um, let's go back to since we broke down the other ones, let's go back quickly to the spreadsheet and punch in those sales again if we can.
I'm just trying to see if a lot of these are relists.
Oh, 100% they are. We don't even have to even go through them, Dan. Yeah, I bet 65 to 75% of them are.
Yeah, that one's not.
That's what look at the inventory levels. Look at the sales. Most of it's dead inventory in those higher ranges, right?
Yeah.
Like it's nothing new. Look at there's one. We started off in August at 1.3, and now we're at 1.1. We reduced by $200,000.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just set the price $200,000 cheaper? You would have had a shot at selling it.
Well, and
That's
the problem is
fair.
once these properties sit and sit and sit, like,
But why are people testing the market when the market's not there?
I
This is
don't know.
neither do I.
I don't know. I'm just like, so it's like there with the amount, Mark, of new listings. This is what I was trying to figure out. Well, I'm gonna stop share for a sec. With this big increase in numbers, we didn't see a huge decrease in December, January, right? Like there wasn't like a big decrease.
Yeah, but I don't know if those 2 months are really good months to really gauge a
No,
market.
but what I'm trying to say is a lot of these listings have to have already been there.
Oh, 100%. Oh, for sure.
Just because it was canceled and relisted, we still counted it last month.
Sure.
It was still there,
For sure.
which means there's a whole bunch of new ones.
Well, yeah, for sure. That if we go back, even the spreadsheets with it, we can see the inventory levels throughout those ranges, right? They've always been high. I can't sit here and rhyme them all off.
Well, no, and the thing is, as we can see, even last year, January's low, February we went for a shit. We're gonna go for a shit again in March probably. But
Probably.
then
Yeah.
April and May actually didn't do well.
It didn't do well. Uh-uh.
Like
Uh,
the best months of the year was March, and this year it's definitely not going to be well, March and then May.
yeah. And then it doesn't, it's funny. I mean, look at March. I mean, people inventory is starting to go up, but people really start to list in May too. We see a real flood with the sales, but when we look at the sales, they're lower from March and even January. That's not a bad number
No,
last year. But
no,
look how much the inventory balloons up from then.
I know.
Hundreds. And the sales, yes, 211, 241's up, but look at how much the inventory increased.
Yeah,
So
it
a
went
lot more
huge.
supply, you know. And typically if people think, well, more supply, prices should come down. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you're right.
But it's not.
It's just not because I just think we're in an overpriced market where people sellers just are not letting go of the high prices. And we could again, I'm not even worth that we say it so much, but they're going to have to. They want to sell the property. Why don't you go back to the nine, those count because we started one. Do you want to do the rest of those areas or
Which
move
one?
on? Of just because we did a million. What we did? How many ones did we do?
We did all the price ranges.
Did we do all the price ranges in
We
sales?
just didn't do the sales. Hold on.
We did one for okay. So we did one for the $1 million one. We did.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the inventory numbers written down or do I?
You do.
Uh only have the total. I have the
No, you did the ranges.
yeah, just the new inventory.
9 to 1 million, only four sold. Yeah,
Or
we did go through this.
no, some of them we did. So four sold.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we went through all of them.
For the sales. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we did.
All right.
But now, so the other thing we wanted to talk about today was the fact that builders' houses are coming back.
Pull it up. I'm gonna give you two things to pull up that I noticed yesterday.
Okay.
Well, here's one today, I believe. But go to this. I saw them more in Essa. 50 Wood Crescent.
Got it. Oh my God. San Diego homes, they built in Innisfil a lot too.
Right.
35 to 5,000 square feet, four bed, four bath, 1.595.
So when we see a builder selling this, builders typically don't sell. They have sales presentations in studios
They
for
pre-sell.
they pre-sell them. Right. So this is probably a home that you know wasn't couldn't the buyer couldn't fulfill the obligations due to whatever reason.
Yeah,
Right.
they didn't close the deal.
Getting close to deal. And a lot of it is lending, right? On the mortgage side. So the price value didn't come in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This folks, again, this is only in my opinion, assumptions, couldn't come up with a shortfall, so they didn't close. Probably lost all their deposits. So the builder takes over and tries to sell it. That's a hard sell at 1.6. It's not going to happen. Big home, it's not going to happen.
Well, you know what's shocking to me too? That San Diego homes put in probably a $6,000 or $7,000 oven.
Yeah, but we don't know the upgrades of what the seller has. Like that's a nice
Well,
little
that yeah, it seems to me like that
that's a
look
nice
at
thing.
this fridge and look like you know as well as I do, builders don't put this.
No, they don't. So that happens. What else did I see? Not this one, but I saw a couple yesterday. A few from that builder actually.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, Woodcrest you got is right there. I think I saw another one on Woodcrest.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Ah, shoot. I don't know where this one is.
What's the address?
I cut it off. That.
Walkout basement.
Anyway, I cut the picture off. I can't see the address, but it looked like it was a semi-detached Honeyfield Limited. So again, a builder. So we're noticing some of this inventory coming on this week.
Honeywood?
No, I don't. You can try Honeywood, but I don't think it was. Yeah, no, no, doesn't matter. But and talking to a friend of mine yesterday who does some work for builders in the concrete side of things, they're seeing it too, right? These obligations aren't being met from buyers backing up or can't close. And these were done probably 2 years ago, fair to say. Yeah, probably 2 years ago.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is that when they pre-sell and it's so far in the future,
Yeah, yeah.
now you got to worry about
Qualifying
qualifying.
with different rates, which has been going on. So lots of stuff, lots of products, lots of mispriced product for sale. And we have a scared buyer today. Not a good equation. And
Well, no, and
with what's going on in this country economically with tariffs coming in. We already have a higher unemployment rate than the US. We already have lower GDP, right?
yeah, and the other thing I wonder, Mark. So right now, if you didn't really have to sell, would you?
No, no, I'd lose money on my condo that I bought 2 years ago. I already know that. I don't want to lose money, so I wouldn't sell. If I wanted to sell,
So
I was going somewhere and I was going to move out west. Okay, I'm going to lose 50,000. Okay, but if I don't have to sell, I'm not going to sell.
so all these listings that
Just
that we see coming up like mental crazy.
to, I don't
Why,
say to that.
like, do you think they have to sell or they're listing to see if they can get what they want?
They're going to see what they don't, either they're not listening to the agent or the agent doesn't know. That's the only thing I can say. The numbers don't lie. We go through them week over week. We didn't make these numbers up. We didn't manipulate the numbers. It came from the Toronto Real Estate Board. We go through active listings, sold listings. We cover it all. We provide the data for people to make decisions on. That I don't know. I don't think there's too many agents being transparent with these numbers, maybe. But I know if I was a seller today, I'd want to see them. When I was out in Banff, I told you, I don't know that market. I want to move out there in a couple of years. Of course, the agent goes, "Wow, oh, it's a good time to get in. Prices are just going to keep going like that." No, they're not. How about you send me the How about you send me the data for the last 2 years and let me understand it. Let me see it for myself. No, it's no different than this market. A lot of overpriced properties sitting in the market, 102 days, 200 days. Things aren't flying off the shelves, right? So I really think sellers and buyers need to see the data. I was on the buying end, so it's me looking or going, and I was really close from making a decision about buying a new build condo for it was 1.2, 1,320 square feet, just overlooking the Three Sisters, like just a phenomenal. And I'm going, you know what? We need to put the brakes because that's not going to be done for 2 years. What's going to happen? I'm not going to speculate that it's going to keep going up. I think that market's coming down and it's not really geared to Calgary. It's a niche market there, but look at the economic environment that we're in.
Well, and
Welcome down.
the showings I did yesterday, they asked me, where do you think the market's going? And I'm like, I don't know. Like it's I can't see it all of a sudden going through the roof and doing well.
Not going to. It's not going.
No,
We're not seeing it now. We're not seeing it now at all.
no.
Hey, we're seeing it. We're seeing a lot of competition in the marketplace with listings and inventory levels, and we're seeing sparse sales, right? We're
Yeah,
seeing, we're not seeing, holy cow, did you see the sales? It was 35 in Barrie today. I can't tell last time I seen that.
no.
So the stuff that is selling, I will say that is either the price is right And I'm not saying give it away. It is priced for the market. No one's saying give your home away. You got to give your home away to sell it. No, you're going to have to price it for today's market, not next year's market or what the
Or
future.
2 years ago.
Right? You can't look at those. You got to look at things. And it's almost safe today to go back a couple of years and look at comps because the market's
Yes.
been flat. So
Yeah.
I can go back to get a sale price for a property that I'm going to list, say tomorrow. I can go back 2 years to get an idea if I can't find a comparable close by.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing's really changed.
No. Well, one of my buyers said, well, the neighbor sold for this much last year and the prices have actually gone down. And so they want to pay less. And I said, well, I think since last year they're basically flat.
Pretty flat, maybe
They
a
haven't
point,
gone down huge
not a heck of a
amounts.
lot, but pretty flat, maybe 1 or 2 points. The higher ranges have come down,
Yeah.
right?
But
But
the lower ranges, like the bungalows
pretty
and
flat,
stuff,
pretty flat. If
pretty
it
flat. No,
this is
nothing
one or
much
two
has
percent,
changed.
even 1 or 2%, call it, right? They haven't go. I know one thing, they haven't gone up.
No, that exactly.
Yeah. I
That's
said
exactly what I told them.
I started listening to a client yesterday. Nice property. They bought it in 2023. They paid for it. Paid 1,260,000 for it, and they're asking 1.35. That's a 4.90% increase in appreciation in 2 years. That didn't happen. What's it worth? Probably 126, maybe even
Yeah.
a little bit lower. So you got to back out your real estate fees. They're gonna lose 50, 60, 70K.
Yeah.
We're seeing that. Maybe when the bought in 2023 in selling now, you're not getting ahead of that curve. You're not making money.
You're not.
And
No.
it was a nice, beautiful home. I said, watch this home because who buys this real nice home in 2 years, and sells? Things could change. Could be employment, could be divorce, could be job transfers, could be multiple things. But that price, they're not going to get that price for it. They're just
No.
not. When in that range that we just went through, where we got 2% of the inventory selling in that a million and above range, and they have 132 listings. Holy cow! I wouldn't want to be listing my property in that range today.
No. You know what's funny, Mark, is the house that I bought needs a bit of work, but I would rather pay less money for a house that needs work and increase the value through stuff I can do in a market like this.
Yeah,
Because
you're
if
gonna stay there for 5 or 6 years for sure.
if you buy one that's already to the nines and everything's been done and it's beautiful and everything is perfect, if prices do go down a little bit, you can't get out.
I don't think you can get out anyway. If they, with those upgrades, I kind of think the opposite. Those upgrades are kind of nice for people, and people will pay for them. But I think a buyer goes into a home buying experience not to get out in 2 years. They just don't. There's some
No,
reason
that's
why they
that's
have to do
true.
that.
That's true. But some of them that I've seen, like they are overdone almost for what it is.
Some, but I don't know. I like the upgrades. I like going to an overdone house if it's priced, but I'm not willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for it when I know that could be done, say, for, I don't know, 100K. So again, it becomes a pricing issue as well now,
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
So just because you did all these fancy upgrades, and some are fancy, some are just okay, there's no guarantees that you're gonna get that money back. So if someone's gonna buy this house that needs some work and spends 150K on it, and then list it for, I don't know, they bought it for 7, and then they're gonna list it for 1 million now. Hope to make 150. Good luck on that one to you.
Yeah, no, that ain't
Won't
happening.
be doing that, people. And we've seen people do that in the COVID market and
Yes,
bought in 2022 and had it ready for 2023 or 2024 and not selling. And then I've seen two properties that have been repossessed,
I know.
right? That went into foreclosed, default, mortgage default. That was an agent that bought them.
I know. I've
Don't
seen
deal with
that
that
too.
agent.
Yeah, I've seen that
Bad
too.
decision.
Yeah. I mean, when you're buying a house, if you're trying to flip in this market, no
Good
real
luck.
estate agent, no. And you know what? I flipped houses, you flipped houses. We know a lot of agents that do it. No one's doing that right now.
Risk.
Too much risk. So if all of us agents that are in this every single day and do this and eat and breathe it, if we're not doing it, then you should maybe take a look at, if it's a good decision.
Listen to people,
Yeah.
the right people. Don't make these decisions by yourself or think you can do it. I'm going to show you I can do it. No, you can't do it. I wouldn't even ever think of doing that in this risky environment that we're in today. Never,
No, me neither. Me
ever.
neither. It's the market. If you're going to hold for 5 years at least,
Yeah,
then okay. But if you think
yeah.
you're going to get out in a year or two and you're going to do, or a year or 6 months and do some
Good luck.
renos, you're nuts.
You're nuts. You're nuts. Well, what happened to my speaker died? That sucked.
I
Yeah,
think
I
we're done. We did a good job.
think we did a good job. Subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. More subscribers. The
Mark,
information.
I'm almost at 1,000.
You're almost there. Get down to 1,000. She needs 1,000 to get monetized.
Yeah, I'm really close.
You're getting close, right? So subscribe to the channel. Ask us questions. Hey, it's more I can say. Data doesn't lie, folks. Got questions on that data? Send us a note. We can speak
Perfect.
to it. I don't know how many other agents can. See
Perfect. See ya.